you need to actually do what I'm telling you to do because it just works. What's up? It's Justin, and I had to get this training out right now as I get messages constantly. And last night I got another message about one specific question, which is, if I'm just getting started and I don't have much money to get into the business, how do I start? And so I want to make sure I answer this once and for all. I get this question all the time. And so if you are not a part of the Facebook group, Science of Flipping Academy, you should be if you're watching this video. Go ahead and join that as well, because I give a lot of this type of content over and over again in that group. But this is specific to that question. If you have $500,000, $1,500, $2,000 to get started, you don't need to spend the money to get into this industry. Any guru who's telling you you need to go do direct mail with $1,000, I disagree. You do absolutely not. Here are the two things that you need to do, and maybe even three, that I would suggest you do immediately. And let me even take a step back, guys. If you aren't going to take the actions I'm telling you to do, then don't even get into it. Don't continue watching this video. You need to actually do what I'm telling you to do because it just works. The reality is you need to be cold calling and door knocking. Both of those are the cheapest ways to get into this industry. And I'll even add a third one, is text messaging. Now, the text messaging platform is relatively new to the space and is really, really inexpensive. But let me tell you why I'm telling you, you have to be door knocking, specifically door knocking, because there is quite literally zero cost. It is just your manpower going through the neighborhoods, knocking the doors. But then also why you potentially need to be calling those same individuals. First and foremost, nowadays there is so much better technology than when I got started 12 years ago that it is foolish for you not to use some of this technology. Some is free, some is paid for, but there is one software out there right now that is incredible that will really help anyone getting into this industry how to get started wholesaling, which is Deal Machine. Deal Machine is hands down the best application you can get. It goes directly on your iPhone. And Andrea, can you put the little logo of Deal Machine on there? So there'll be a logo somewhere on here of Deal Machine. I know the owner personally. They'll give you a discount. They'll give you a $40 credit to use their direct mail. But the software is incredible. I think I paid $99 a month for it. But the reason this is so good is because not only when you're door knocking, which is absolutely free, it'll allow you to text message or call directly through the app. It skip traces that same individual and you can call them. That is why I'm saying you need to be door knocking in combination with cold calling, because this app alone helps solve that. Now, again, if you don't even have the $99, you don't need to spend it. You don't need to use that app. That app will just expedite your ability to get your first deal, to get into this industry. Now, with that said, you can absolutely door knock. Just tell the neighbor, go ahead and just let them know you're looking to buy a home in the area. And that's as simple as it is. If they're interested, they'll talk further. And if they aren't, then they'll say, no, thank you, I'm not looking to sell. And then you keep moving on. But the reality is you don't need to go out and buy a bunch of stuff if you're just getting started. You have to do the work. And unfortunately, the work that is needed to get done is not glamorous. It's not sexy. And quite frankly, no one wants to do it. I sure as hell don't want to go do it in the middle of summer in Arizona when it's 120 degrees. I know you don't, but door knocking works. It fundamentally works. You want to go look for properties that are simply, maintenance deferred, that don't have any keep up. The yard's overgrown. There's trash cars in the yard. The roof is caving in. You can tell a maintenance deferred home when you see it. You just got to knock on that door. Now, the next part of this is, cold calling. Now, no one loves that either. This is how I got started. The reason why I'm such an advocate of calling and cold calling is this is how I broke into the industry. And again, if it's good enough for me, it's good enough for you. For those of you that don't know my story, I was broke, busted, and disgusted when I got into this industry. And this is how I got out. I sat down, I had a cup of coffee every day, and I just started calling. Now, here's the deal. Everyone's next question is, well, where do I find the numbers? Well, skip tracing is how you find it. And I'll be honest with you, there isn't like a very cheap skip tracing or quality skip tracing company out there. There is no 3, 4, 5 trade that has. If you want the person, you pay for it. North of 10 cents more often than not. Sometimes 15, sometimes 20 cents for every phone number you want to skip. And what I would tell you, the more you pay, you get what you pay for in this instance. So I want you to really be aware, if you're going to skip trace, don't go for inexpensive. You get what you pay for. If you're 20 cents like I'm 20 cents, then you're in the right ballpark. I pay for my data because it's good data. Now, again, the reason I leverage Deal Machine is because it's already built into the app. I'm not going to do it now, but there's an app. Maybe I'll record another training video. It's on the phone. It's incredible. And so Deal Machine is one answer to this. Then newly to the market is text messaging. If you're already door knocking, cold calling, and potentially skip tracing these people, why not surround them on levels? Door knocking, cold calling, and text message them. It is groundbreaking. It only took us 37 days to get our first deal text messaging, and it was less than $500 to do it. Or actually, it was $500. Let me clarify that. So it's $500 to do it, and I got a deal in 7 days. I made $7 grand. That's an incredible return on investment, right? Now, again, Andrea, let's make sure that Launch Control is somewhere on here. I use the company Launch Control. Just let them know that you heard it from the Science of Flipping or Justin, and they're going to give you a massive credit on skip tracing, which again can be inexpensive through your credit. And so again, this is how I get started. You don't need to go out and spend a bunch of money. Door knock, cold call, text message. You don't need a bunch of money to get started. Those are the 3 avenues I would get started today to get your first deal. Now, here's the reality. I can tell you where to do it, how to do it, and all that, but you need to do it. You need to be held accountable. You need to be able to get up every single day and go do the actual work that I'm telling you to do. That is the thing that I can't control. I will teach you everything there is to know about this business. I will give you every system. I will give you every tool. I will give you access to everything I can after 12 years of doing this, but you have to do it. This is how you're going to get started in wholesaling. These are the 3 techniques: door knocking, cold calling, and text messaging. It's up to you to go do it. Hopefully this training finds you well, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.